today's video, we'll talk about the truth about the Chanel 19. I know there's lots of videos about this bag, but I have insights that other people haven't mentioned, so I think you'll still get a fresh, new perspective from me. I will share with you all my Chanel 19 mistakes, and boy, do I have some. And what am I going to do to correct that? And I will answer the question, is it time to buy or sell your Chanel 19? I have these two Chanel 19s, and one of these, I think I bought the wrong size. So I'm doing what I should have done back in 2019 when this bag first came out, which is try all the sizes. If there's one thing to take away from this video, please go on trying all the sizes, even the one that you weren't interested in, because that one could be the one that is best for you. If you don't do that, you could be like me and buying and selling again, which isn't fun. So back in 2020, I fell for the hype and I bought the tweed houndstooth, you know, the one with the Chanel ribbon, in the size large, without trying it on. Yeah, something I do not recommend. Well, it was COVID, and back then all the stores were closed, remember that? So I saw it on an influencer, and it looked great on her. The key phrase here is that it looked great on her, and I assumed it would look great on me, and I was dead wrong. Oh my goodness, you guys, I was so wrong. I liked this tweed on its own, but it was impossible for me to style as this pattern was way too busy. And as a shoulder bag, the strap kept sliding off, and the size large doesn't look good crossbody on me. So see how this sticks out? On me, it's not a good look. I don't know if this sticks out on everyone, but on me, it just sticks out. So nope, I never used it. So I sold it with the tags attached because I never used it. And that was my first mistake. Then I decided I wanted the Chanel 19 in the denim. And by 2022, the denim only came in this size, the medium size. And I was okay with that. And this bag is featured in one of my first YouTube videos. I'll put a link in the description. I prefer this in the gold hardware. And in 2022, the denim only came in the silver hardware, and I thought it wasn't a big deal at that time. But there's a bigger problem, and I'll explain that later. This is mistake number 2. Yeah. So this time, I bought the Maxi in the tweed, and I got the caramel in the large. I know that the black lambskin is very popular on YouTube, but I'm not interested in that at all, and I'll explain later why in this video. So the question is, will I get it right this time? Is the third time the charm, or just another fail? I will walk you through my thought process and you can watch me figure out what I'm keeping and selling. I hope these insights help you, but remember, do your own research to make your own decisions. All right, so let's get started. First, I want to come clean and tell you the truth about the Chanel 19 that people may think, but don't say it out loud, which is Chanel 19, although listed on the Chanel website as part of the classic line, is a super trendy bag and is already out of style. Yup, sorry to be the bearer of bad news. It was hot for like 3 years, and when Chanel 22 came out, everyone ran to the Chanel 22. And that's because Chanel 22 is a better slouchy, put anything and get out the door bag than the Chanel 19. I know that many people hate the Chanel 22 because it looks like a very overpriced drawstring bag, and it's just that. But the Chanel 22 will never look out of style, out of date, as much as a Chanel 19. And yeah, the truth hurts, even for me to say it and to hear it myself. So, am I saying don't buy the Chanel 19? No, I'm not. Buy the Chanel 19 if you love this design and don't care that this looks out of style. Or buy a Chanel 19 that looks less out of style. And in this video, I'll tell you which size I think looks the least out of style and why. And if you're going to buy Chanel 19, then buy from the pre-loved market because you'll save thousands, even when the item is in near condition. This is the medium size, and some people mistaken this for the small size. The small size is actually sold in Japan, and it's actually smaller than this. So in this video, I'm going to keep calling this the medium. So the medium size is now at the store selling for $6,900. Yeah, pretty crazy. And in my opinion, it's not worth it. And if you were to buy this size or any size in the pre-loved market, you're going to save thousands of dollars. There are lots of fakes out there. So buy from a reputable seller and get it authenticated. Also from a reputable authenticator. Also, the Chanel 19 doesn't age well. And that really lowers the price when you go try to sell it later. I bought this bag in lambskin to show you. Because this bag has no structure, it sinks on the sides like this. See here? Sinks right here and here. And that makes this bag look really, really sad. This bag has a whole bunch of corner wear, which is very common for the Chanel 19 in the leather. And the bag with the most wear, of course, is listed at a lower price. If this doesn't bother you, then you can probably get these at a steal. But remember, if you do buy one without the corner wear, after you use it for a couple of years, you might get this. So it's really up to you whether or not you want a bag with corner wear or without corner wear. I personally prefer bags without corner wear, but you have to make the decision that is best for you. Is it time to buy Chanel 19 in 2025? I think the resale price of Chanel 19 will go down every year. Of course, at the store, the price will continue to go up. So, when is the right time depends on you. Do you want to rock this bag this year? Or would you rather pay less and rock it in 2026 or even 2027? When this bag gets discontinued, yep, I said it, I think that the Chanel 19 will get discontinued by 2029, which is 10 years from when it came out in 2019, if not sooner. So, when this bag gets discontinued, the price will drop even more. Why am I concerned about the price? I'm a handbag addict, and there's always handbags on my wish list. So I try to buy used bags at prices that I think I could sell for later, when I'm done using it, so that I get the most amount of money back, for my next purchase. So I don't like losing thousands of dollars every time I buy and sell a bag. And frankly, the Maxi size is not popular, so I can see this going down in price faster than the other sizes. I'll talk about later if I think buying Maxi is a good idea or not. You might be surprised. So, is it time to sell your Chanel 19? If you aren't using your Chanel 19 or have doubts about it, yes, I think it's time to sell. The resale price has fell and will continue to fall. So, I personally think that you will get more money this year than next year. Of course, there's always exceptions, but in general, I think it's just going to keep going down in price. So yes, I think it's better to sell now, if you're not using it, and you plan not to use it in the future. So the question is, what Chanel 19 size at this point is the least out of style? I get that this is a subjective topic, but I want to share with you my thoughts. The Chanel 19 is characterized by large pillowy quilts. When this first came out in 2019, the pillowy style bags were in. So this bag was a breath of fresh air. Flashy chunky chain. Back then, the chunky chains were in, and now in 2025, not so much. It's the chunky chain of all things that make this feel out of style in my opinion. And let's talk about the mixed metal. Chanel doesn't do much mixed metal. The other bag Chanel did produce in the mixed metal is the Gabrielle line, which has been discontinued. So I think the mixed metal also make this look dated. So who's the winner? Looking at the three bags side by side, the medium, the large, and the maxi, I think the maxi looks out of the style the least. I kind of have a love and hate relationship with the chunky chain here. I like the option of using that as a top handle. It looks great, but in time, the leather pieces right here, up here, and here can rip. And if this bag is full, I don't think I'll be top handling it. So when I'm not using this as a top handle, I'd rather not see this. When I flip it back like this, I prefer this look. And this bag looks less trendy when the chain isn't visible. So I would rock it like this most of the time. And the other reason why the Maxi is best for me is that I'm not interested in the Maxi Classic Flap. First, the price of the Maxi Classic Double Flap is ridiculous, and that bag is just too bulky for me. So the Chanel 19 in the Maxi, I think, is a great alternative to the Classic Flap in the Maxi size. For me, I intend to use the Maxi as a shoulder bag, and this strap doesn't slip off like on the large size. What does this look like as a crossbody? The Maxi as a crossbody is very comfortable and looks great. Remember, the large as a crossbody sticks out, so that's why I sold the houndstooth bag. The medium also sticks out, so I ended up making the same mistake twice. Wow, that was really stupid. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that really sucks. So the Maxi looked best as a crossbody on me. What does this look like as a clutch? Like this, which is how the models on the runway rocked it. I don't have any other Chanel bags in my collection that I can use as like a slouchy clutch like this. The Maxi in the tweed is very comfortable as a clutch. It's like my emotional support clutch that I can take everywhere and pet it for comfort. The large as a clutch in leather slips, so I would not recommend this. The medium is too small as a clutch, but I guess it's an option. So for me, the Maxi size is the best choice for me. I think the CC turn lock also looks best on the Maxi. It's not overpowering like on the medium size. And also, the large quilts on the medium look too big. And on the Maxi, it looks less big. I think the Maxi size has the best proportions, the best quilt, the chunky chain, and the CC lock proportions. All three of those don't overpower the bag. And unfortunately, I realize now I like the medium size the least, which is the one I own. Yeah, so I wish I realized that back then, but I realized it too late. Yeah. So while the medium size looked fine in 2022, to me, this looks too out of date today. So I will be letting this go. And because I put a base shaper and an insert, and I stuffed it during storage, this bag didn't lose any structure at all. Look at this. It didn't sink here, right? What I did was I stuffed it, and when I stored it flat like this so that it wouldn't lose structure on the sides. And I think that really helped. And this bag has most of all the stickers on there. So this bag is like new. But unfortunately, because this bag lost popularity, I will probably lose money on this when I sell it. So I should have sold this back in 2022 when the Chanel 22 came out. But I didn't. And so I do regret that. And that is mistake number 3. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Truth number 2. I am not really into tweed, but I think Chanel 19 looks best in tweed. Not the crazy contrasted tweed, but in tweed like this or this. No, in any other bag styles, I don't like tweed. Not in the classic flap, not in Chanel 22, the boy bag, and on and on and on. The thing is, when this bag first came out, I had no interest in the Maxi size or this tweed. I love the gold houndstooth, but that is not a colorway that I can pull off. If you can pull that off, I would get that. I think that the gold houndstooth is the most iconic Chanel 19 bag, hands down. Chanel 19 looks best in the tweed, and if I had to choose a color in the leather, it's the caramel. I think that the caramel with the gold hardware is chef's kiss, and that is why Chanel produced this seasonal color over and over again. The caramel color is highly unusual for Chanel, and I'm sorry, but I don't think this looks good at all in iridescent colors or sequin. And this bag looks the worst in shearling. That is just atrocious. It makes this bag look even more dated, Sorry, and I'm not taking that back. So let's talk about this bag in the black leather because most influencers bought that. So I agree that this bag in the black leather resembles a trash bag. And that is why I am not interested. This is a truth video, so please don't get offended. If you love it in black, just ignore everything that I said about that. This is just my opinion. The black leather is not for me. But if I had to pick between the goat skin, which is more shiny and durable, and the lambskin, I would pick the lambskin because it's less shiny, so it has a less trash baggy feel. I do love the Chanel 19 in the denim. The one thing I did get right is pick this denim. I would say that material-wise, number 1 is tweed, and number 2 is the denim, and number 3 is the caramel with the gold hardware in lambskin. Truth number 3. The Chanel 19 is a slouchy and a way more relaxed bag than the classic flap, but I don't think this is really a casual bag, meaning meant to wear with like denim shorts and a shirt. Surprisingly, the classic flap, which people call stuffy, can actually be worn with denim shorts and a shirt. The Chanel 19 actually takes more effort to style. I think this looks best with a more semi-formal wear, like oversized coats and maybe like baggy sweaters. I think some of us can pull this off with jeans, but again, I think it's more like baggy jeans is the best. So for me, this is not a grab-and-go bag. That goes with everything. I think this bag can make you look dated if you don't style it correctly. So I spend more time styling my outfit for this bag. So again, if you want like a real grab-and-go bag, Chanel 22 is the way to go. And surprisingly, I think the Chanel 19 looks great on men. Again, because the pillowiness is slightly feminine, it's a great juxtaposition with the masculine suits. So for me, this is more of a fall and winter bag. And if you were to wear this in the summer, it goes with boho flowy dresses the best, I think. I don't think this looks good with like bodycon dresses or super fitted outfits. Again, these are my thoughts. You wear the bag however you want. This will also explain why this bag lost so much popularity so fast. It's not easy to style. So, what about the Chanel 19 Walk? Am I selling this? Surprisingly or not, the Chanel 19 Walk, the resale price is better than the Chanel 19 bags. And I think that's because the Chanel 19 Walk is structured, looks less worn, and even with the chunky chains, these chains don't look as chunky as on the bags. So I think this looks less dated than the Chanel 19 bags. The biggest complaint I heard about the Chanel 19 Walk is that you cannot adjust the strap length. And I'm almost 5 foot 6 inches, and the chain length is 24.5 inches, which works for me, but for my friends who are shorter, the chain is just too long, so I get the problem. So, the newer models with the CC turn lock, and this is the older model with the magnetic closure, so the newer model, the CC turn lock, has a shorter strap length of 23 inches, according to Fashion File. So let's go with that. And that is the shorter option. But you need to know that the turn lock styles fit less than the magnetic style. I did an entire video on which walk fits the most, so I'll put that link in the description. So you've got the Chanel Walk, the original one, the older model, with strap length of 24.5 inches, and the new one with 23 inches. And if that's still too long, then you have the Chanel 19 phone holder, which has a strap length of 22 inches. So that is your shortest option. So I think that the phone holder is a seasonal bag. And because it came out only a few times, that is harder to get a hold of. But again, it's best to try on all the walks before making your decision. For me, this strap length is totally fine. So, is it time to buy a Chanel 19 walk? If I didn't have this walk, yes, I would buy it in 2025, but in the older style, the one with a magnetic closure. And of course, pre-loved. I'm just not a fan of the twist lock because the CC is located lower, which looks off to me. And of course, because it fits less than this one, the magnetic one. And I would not buy it in leather because I would flip the chunky chain like this to the back most of the time, and that would leave imprints. I really love the walk in the denim. For me, this goes with everything, and this is worry-free. So would I buy a Chanel 19 walk in the tweed? I would if there was a tweed that I like. And so far, I have not seen a tweed I like in the older model, this one with the magnetic closure. So absolutely, I would buy this in 2025, 2026, whenever. I have to have at least one in my collection. So I'm keeping the walk, and I'm selling the medium, and I'm returning the large, but I'm glad I saw the caramel leather in person. So what am I going to do about the Maxi? This is the right size and material for me, but there is something wrong with the long strap. The middle leather part should be centered, but it's not. If you look at the medium and the large bag, the leather part is centered, but for some reason it's not centered on the Maxi bag. I don't know if the strap was altered or not, but to me this is a defect, which is a deal breaker. I'm so sad because the price of this was pretty good, at $3,500. But again, I believe this price will drop next year. Do you think I made the right decision? Do you agree that the Chanel 19 is out of style? And what will you do? Let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.